An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like. Rolling dice? Deciding fates. Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
She eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no. But I can read the past in flesh. One of the perks of being an elf, you see. I'm quite good at it, too. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a cat grooming.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers. As everyone lay sleeping, you lay awake thinking of someone back home. A very special someone. You were reminiscing about the things you used to do together. Of course it is. The truth's right there, skin deep. But don't you worry, darling. Your secret's safe with me. I don't lick and tell.
Amid the squalor of Fort Joy, you suddenly spot an elf with diamond features, regal and radiant, but cold too, and sharper than any knife. She was the one who sat rolling dice in the ship that went under, deciding fates with every roll, or so she said. Her eyes are focused on a lizard some distance away, and you get the distinct feeling he's an unfortunate man indeed to be trapped in her tiger-like gaze. No sooner have these words left your mouth than she turns about and grabs you in a stranglehold. You feel the tip of a long needle being pushed a little ways into your neck.
You caught me off guard. No one catches me off guard. Better tell me who you really are, or this time I'll let my needle do the licking. But you did, and now the tables have turned. You look quite startled to me.
A push, a pivot, and now you suddenly face her, the needle still all too deeply embedded in the side of your throat. Despite the precariousness of your situation, you notice something that remained undetected in the gloom of the ship. A flaw in her diamond features. A curiously shaped scar on her left cheek.
Let me tell you a little story. Once upon a bad old time, a lizard cut this living scar into my cheek. The mark of a slave. But now I'm free, of sorts. And I've traced that lizard here, to Fort Joy. I intend to raise the subject with him.
She drives the needle in deeper and whispers.
In truth, it does not matter in the least who you really are. You saw me mark my prey. You could warn him, save him, or kill him before I get my chance. That makes you a liability. That makes you needle feed.
A bright sparkle of laughter follows your proposal.
Ha! How amusing. I admit I had not seen that twist coming. I was certain the pitiful begging was about to begin. Make your case and do it quickly. Why should I join you? Escape. How you do tickle me. Most of the misguided deers around here would argue such a thing is impossible. Well played. Oh, little needle mine, what should I do? Push or pull? The agony of choice. You know what? Today is a rather fine day. Sunshine and an easy breeze. Yes, I'll let you live. I'll even agree to travel with you, provided we talk to that lizard I mentioned. I'm not quite sure the weather will save him.
With a casual flick of the wrist, she withdraws the needle from your neck and smiles, as if she just invited you to sit down for tea.
Let's discuss our respective roles then, shall we? You, me, and Death will be playing many a round of hide-and-seek. So, what role would you like me to play? As a rogue, my speciality is stealth, the quick silence of the dagger striking unseen. That said, I'm perfectly lethal wielding any weapon or magic. So, the choice is yours. Suits me fine. Lead on, or better yet, let me take the lead. Then follow me.
You're not quite certain you'll ever sleep soundly with Sebille in any sort of proximity, but at least she's on your side, for the moment.
A moment's pause. I had thought us too wicked for rest. We may see no bars, but we are firmly behind them here and now. As I hunt for answers, escape must ever be on our minds. Let's save those for later, shall we? Not quite the thing I tend to share with strangers. Ha! Nonsense. We've already cheated death coming here. We have but to cheat the living to leave. Ha! Shouldn't be too hard, trust me. May require some needlework, though. In a final heartbeat. Why did you assume I wouldn't? The only thing that springs eternal is blood from gushing wounds. And water from springs, of course, and flowers from the ground, but you catch my drift. One must cull to cultivate. Huh, hardly. I walked up to the quay, asked for the ship to Fort Joy, and declared myself a sorcerer. I'm here to hunt, remember? Here to play a game of tic-tac-terminate with a special certain someone.
As you're about to approach the lizard, Sebille cups your chin between thumb and index finger, then guides your eyes to hers.
Listen, I need to have a chat with this here morsel of flesh. He has wronged me once, but may just do right by me this time.
To your surprise, Sebille proceeds to throttle the unsuspecting lizard with one hand as she drives the tip of her needle into his lower belly with the other. Then the questions commence. You hear him yelp about the master, lone wolves, and a man called Griff. Then, quite suddenly, there's blood everywhere as Stingtail falls to the ground, face first into his own intestines. Sebille heaves a sigh of satisfaction, and as she wipes her needle clean, shoots you a cursory look.
Chat's over. Something on your mind? It's simple. He scarred me, so I scarred him. Extensively.
She defies you with devilishly innocent eyes.
Can you blame me? There it is. I was wondering when your spying would make an appearance. Anyway, what's dead is done, so let's move on, shall we? Despite my high hopes, this scar disfigures me still. The search for the master continues, of course. Hungry work, the hunt. And you know what? I'm feeling a bit peckish. Stingtail mentioned a cook, as it happens. Fellow named Griff. 2 birds, 1 stone. How about it?
Sebille gently places a hand on the small of your bag. Her mouth reaches your ear with a whisper.
Let me have a word with the gentleman, would you? I've a little clue to follow up on.
Sebille steps forward and asks Griff the cook about the lone wolves. A dead little birdie told her he's the man to talk to. A little back and forth ensues. Money crosses hands, and before you know it, Sebille stands back beside you, all smiles.
Thank you. We should make good on our escape, you know. I have to see a man about a wolf in the hollow marshes. Naught but a whelp in skillful hands, I'm sure. Zalaskar's his name. A name for the taking, if it comes to that. A moment's pause. I had thought us too wicked for rest. My, I did get you all worked up, didn't I? Afraid you won't be able to sleep tonight?
She pulls her hand away, quickly and violently, as if bitten by a snake.
No, it's fine. I don't know why I did that. I suppose I'm a bit skittish from time to time. Skittish like a cat that's seen too much unkindness. You see, there's triplets in my mind. The woman I am, the woman I must be, the woman I long to be. Like all sisters, they do tend to be at odds with one another. From time to precious time. To erase the past, I must do just that. Erase it. You can see what I can do. What comes as easily as a morning's yawn or a rush of blood in the presence of beauty. This, you must accept. Thank you. How romantic a concession, to let a woman kill when she so pleases.
As you near a figure clad in old blackened armor, Sebille takes your hand and gives it a squeeze.
I've a feeling yonder creepy crawly is the lone wolf I've been looking for. You wouldn't mind if I asked him a few pertinent questions, would you? I'll do my very, very best.
Sebille addresses the solitary figure. You hear but whispers and hisses in return. Just when you think a fight is about to break out, Sebille's words seem to sway him into submission. He speaks uncomfortably. She listens, her face hard and pale. His name, you overhear her insist. Roost, he croaks. And with that, the interview's over.
Come, let's go. I have what I came for. I found out who abducted me, who delivered me to the Master. I'm going to find the man who did that, and we're going to get mightily reacquainted. Speak if you wish to. So they are. My arms are gravestones, many a lost soul's last rest. One day I'll know who they were, the ones on my right arm. And one day, they'll all be dead, the ones on my left. They are the ones I was forced to kill. I don't know why. I can't recall. But I kept their names, and with their names, I will honor them. The Master. A lizard, but not any lizard. A spectre in the flesh, a man with no name. A darker shade in shadows. If he be a demon, as the frightened claim, I will be a demon hunter. If he be a god, as the cowering claim, I will be a godslayer. Until it is over, I will be nothing but vengeance. A day on the beach I'll be after.
She returns your smile, though you can read the skepticism in her eyes.
A lovely little promise to make. A thorny one to keep. We'll see how bloodied you're willing to get to pluck the one rose lost in a forest of daggers. Still, I do appreciate the sentiment. Those are the breadcrumbs, torn and tossed aside along the long road to the Master. They are inconsequential, candles snuffed out by a brighter flame, if I do say so myself.
One of her eyebrows arcs, like a cat arching its back, ready to scratch.
A touchy subject, I warn you. It didn't exactly feel like a kiss. But the true pain came after, when I lost all of my own volition. I served but the Master and none but he. Touchy subject, I warn you.
Sebille looks at the flask with surprise, but accepts it with a nod and takes a long draught.
My word, warms the heart and everything else besides. Thank you. I needed a bit of good cheer. So, cheers.
And there goes the rest of your bottle.
Unless you love the idea of a life knee-deep in swamp water, I suggest we look for a ship.
Sebille is pensively tracing a new name on her arm, gilded letters in an ancient alphabet.
Sebille. My own name. A little gift from Tyrsendilius. Leave it to a god to be overly dramatic. Must be a celestial party game, or maybe he wanted to teach me a lesson. If the latter, he has much to learn. You don't say. I too had the pleasure. Of course, when I say pleasure, I mean the distinct dishonor. Like death and desperation. I'd rather not talk about it. You're very kind. But I suppose you deserve to know. Indeed. And so I'll acquiesce. Just this once. The thing is, Tyrsendilius, the old father, the Golden Leaf, he wants me to become the next divine.
Her eyes fix on some unseen thing of darkness.
Beware of gods bearing gifts. Divinity. And yet, He treated me exactly. His was an exercise in power, brutal, like all true power is. His was a lesson, meant to discipline, not to edify. Why would I obey such a god? Like I said, beware of gods bearing gifts. But I do appreciate the sentiment. Ha! People will enslave anything these days. At least back in my day, they had the elegance to opt for an elf. Home, there's no such thing. I hail from the land that was, the kingdom of fog, the grave of divinity. If ever I had a home, it has long since gone up in the smoke of death fog, along with so many elves. So, no home, except everywhere, really. The world is mine. It's mine because I say it is.
She looks at you expectantly.
Yes, you may bow before the Queen of the World. We, the Queen of the World, smile upon thee with favor. We dub thee Knight of the Needle. Arise, good sir, and wear your title proudly.
She takes you by the hands and laughs heartily as you stand up.
How kind of you to play along. We won't forget. What use Fort Joy had has been spent. New hunting grounds wait across the sea, so by all means, let us sail. What? Ha! A tale of cloaks and daggers and daredevilry. You up for it? Wonderful.
She bows with thespian flair.
Imagine a black room. It's been your room for years. You know it by touch more than sight, for it's always dark. And when I say always dark, I mean always dark. You're either in the room or in the box, for it's in the box that you travel. You're only let out at night, because you only hunt in the night, with the master's voice in your ears urging you on. And after it's done, you lie down in the box once more, with wet hands and mad red thoughts. Sometimes it's best to let sleeping questions lie. The thing is, the box didn't break me, though I confess it taught me to hate. One night, I killed a scholar. With my needle through his fragile old skull, he fell headfirst upon his writing desk, blood mingling with spilt ink. It's when I saw the ink that timid thoughts of rebellion first bloomed. Back in my dark room, I dipped my needle that killed the scholar in his own ink, and engraved his name in my skin. I'd remember him. I'd honor him with vengeance. His name was the first, but many more followed. Of course.
She bares her left arm and shows you the name. You softly run your finger across it.
Mindarin. He was Turashar, a keeper of stories. I'm sure he was loved by many. People like him, the beloved dead, they kept me going. Then, one day, it happened. A gush of wind, a sliver of light. Light! I hardly knew it for what it was. A simple oversight that comes with habit. A door, left slightly ajar, that was all I needed to feel a rush of blood, a thirst for liberation like never before. I tore at the shackles that kept me chained to the floor, iron thick as a smith's wrists. Of course they wouldn't budge, they never did before. But now that I saw the light, something welled up inside me, a raw and undeniable burst of power. The shackles broke, and next thing I knew, I was free. I stood alone outside the ruins of a fortress, snow-capped peaks all around me. But the sun, oh, the sun. I had risen as if from the grave, and she kissed me back to life. Ain't over yet, honey. I was given my needle by the master. Guess I'm just sentimental like that. Fine, if it means that much to you.
She draws her needle and holds it up between thumb and index finger.
Go on. Ever so gently touch the tip.
Barely have you touched the needle's pinpoint surface when a thick droplet of blood wells up from your fingertip.
Sharp little minx, isn't she? Sebille, this needle was forged in an altogether different world. It wasn't wrought upon a crude anvil hammered into shape with rough blows. No, it was cast with demon precision. It is absolutely priceless, and it's yours. The Master's own words. And he was right. As an instrument of assassination, it's absolutely priceless. But one day soon, he'll find out just how much he overspent on his gifts for little old me. Just why this needle is a girl's best friend. One might say I'm a bit of a sucker for poetic justice. A pity the Meister's dead, but perhaps we can still find out more if we investigate her house. So, Roost is at a sawmill. Let's pay him a visit, shall we?
She smiles. Her eyes are dark pools brimming with anticipation.
Must be an awful lot of fun toys to be had at a sawmill.
Sebille grabs you by the arm, her nails embedding themselves into your flesh.
That's him. That's Roost, the man who abducted me and sold me to the Master. This is it. He knows where the Master is. My thanks.
Sebille walks up to Roost, a massive man who's looming over a small elf, his hair a tangle of matted knots. Scars upon scars cross every inch of visible flesh, from his hands to his gnarled face.
Roost Anlon, I've come to ask you a question.
His smile is nauseating.
You'll have to give me a kiss first. Lots of tongue, too.
He laughs, the sound of a hiccuping demon choking on raw offal.
How vile and petty a thing you are.
Shut up! It's her I'm talking to. Sebille, I was wondering when I'd see you again. Knew the time would come after you broke Daddy's leash. Ha ha, yes. Been wondering when the Master's little pet would pick up my scent.
I know.
She winks at him.
Let's try that again, shall we?
Her casual dismissal of his insults seemed to unsettle him somewhat. Uncertainty sours his face.
How about we just cut to the chase? You are searching for your Master. I know where he is. Them's the cards we're holding, and I've got all the aces up my sleeve.
A flash of the needle. With lightning speed, Sebille spears his hand. He howls with pain.
Strange. I see no cards whatsoever. The Master. Where is he? Not that you have to.
She twists the needle, making him squirm and scream.
On the island! He's on the island with no name.
Good boy.
She removes the needle. Roost suckles his wound with thick, slurping noises.
Where is the island? Tell me.
Oh, I'll do you one better. I'll take you there. I'm going to beat you. Like I did before, I'm going to bleed and bind you, and what's left of you, no more than a battered bit of meat, I'm going to deliver to the Master all over again. He'll be so glad to have his puppy back, even if she'll have lost some of her luster.
Honoured one, we have time to speak later, but first I must speak to Sebille. Too long do I keep silent, too long do I wait, no more. I long await this moment, Sebille. Finally we speak among tree and kin.
Sahela pats Sebille's right arm with a warm, motherly smile, but then her fingers run across the names tattooed upon her skin, and her blind eyes see it all. She pulls her hand back as if scalded, shock temporarily overpowering her.
My child, what is wrong?
These names, they're the names of the dead, of the scions of our people.
I don't know. The names, they are scions.
Of course, your servants, your champions, your worshippers. Do you not remember, Sebille?
You are the prime scion.
You're like I am, only far greater. I am but a limb, a branch where once there were many. You are the heart. You are the hope for our new homeland, the promise of our future, the very reason we do not give in to despair.
You speak falsehoods. If I were a scion, I'd know it. I'd feel it with every beat of my heart.
Your heart's been dulled. You're confused, you're conflicted, and all because...
Her darkened eyes scour her body with an uncanny intensity.
All because of this.
She reaches for Sebille's cheek with a sure hand and softly traces her scar with her thumb.
Careful.
Such unspeakable horror, this thing. I see all now. I figure who you are, the one we fear, the needle in the night, the scion that is scion killer. That is who you are, is it not?
Sebille's eyes close. You can only imagine the scenes of bloody murder she sees in her very own dark.
I was forced to.
You cause much grief. Diliana, Kuma, Silius, Mindaran, all the many others on your long, lean arm, dead friends. They are dead because you run away. They are dead because you do not want to be the heart. Your fear is how Roost captures you. Your fear is how they scar you. The scar makes you kill scions. Without scions, all elves die. If all elves die, the fault is yours.
She grabs her brusquely, forces her face close to Sebille's.
You remember. My blind eyes make you see.
Sebille is forced to look into Sahela's murky white eyes. It looks like she's about to collapse. You can feel her drawing grateful strength from your support.
I saw it all. Me, the prime scion, destined to be the heart that pulses at the center of all ancestor trees. But the great mother tree spoke of death and domination. I hated her, fled from her, only to end in a strange land among unkind strangers. First there was Roost, then the Master.
She smiles and strokes your cheek.
Thank you.
But we understand not.
We demand you be the heart.
You are the greatest of us all. The prime scion. We need you. You must go to the nameless isle where the mother tree roots.
She is sick with fog that undid so many. She is dying. We've need of a new mother. Of you. His words are wise, Sebille.
They have a certain ring to them.
Sebille is her own calm self again. Her eyes trace a bird of prey, black against blue in the sky.
The mother, the master. We'll see. It is not a decision for today.
But the nameless isle awaits. The great mother calls you with every breath of wind that rustles through her leaves.
Heed her call, Sebille. It rustles for you. You are a new mother to us all. The heart that beats in our every chest.
To be the heart or to be heartless? Is that it? Wouldn't count your chickens just yet. Yes?
She smirks quite joylessly.
You heard the way he spoke to me, didn't you? I don't think I'll lose any sleep over his violent demise. Roost. He was wickedness come to life. In his mind, we were nothing but things that squeal delightfully when tortured and ravished.
She looks at you intently, with searching, questioning eyes.
Does such a creature deserve anything less than death? Indeed. The name's on my left arm. Several I killed with pleasure. You saw what I did with Stingtail. You saw it made me feel good. You read the ecstasy in my eyes when I made Roost scream. I ask again, does a creature like me deserve anything less than death? I know you didn't. You only inadvertently did. Don't worry, I don't hold it against you. Besides, You weren't wrong.
She holds up her needle and eyes it with the same searching, questioning look she gave you.
Beyond the blood hides nothing but a desire to be happy. I can only hope that is not too terrible a crime. Ah, yes. I am the Prime Scion. A revelation that came quite out of the blue, which is somewhat ironic, considering I'm supposed to be my people's foremost memory keeper. Quite slipped my mind, though. A slave scar will do that to a girl.
Though she briefly touches the names on her arm, her face settles into a blank and inscrutable expression.
I've long moved beyond mourning my victims. All I feel now is relief. To finally know why I was forced to kill them. To know who I truly am.
She looks down, an uncharacteristic cast of melancholy passing over her face.
Gods, I was so young. Imagine it, to sit enthroned under a vast forest canopy, to look down upon a crowd of thousands, their bodies aglow with countless rays of golden light falling through the leaves. You hear their voices as one. One mind, one thought, and it's your name they incant, as if the word itself were magic. Sebille. They said it like I was the cornerstone of their existence. Isn't that silly? I didn't even know myself. Good question. It's a very lonely thing, indeed, to be the object of a people's worship. What is revered is feared at the same time.
She absent-mindedly fingers her needle, hesitates.
I used to love poetry. I used to love wandering the forests for days on end. I'd swim in the rivers and forget to dress after. It was fine. I was alone. I'd bask in the sun, sleep nestled among bear cubs. Nothing out there would harm me. But always, they would find me, the scions. Always the mother tree would call me back, for one day I'd be free no longer. One day my legs would be roots. To wander would be but one lone memory among millions. Clearly not. Though I must admit that even to sit on that throne amid that eerie crowd, destined to become leaf and bark, was not so dreadful a prospect as what came next. When I decided to run away from the mother tree with only the moon for my guide, it was a terrible journey. Soft-leafed branches became vicious like whips. Moss-bedecked rocks became sharp like the stone axes of old. I grew weary. I was bleeding, in pain, and how I gasped when for the first time an animal eyed me with malice and growled. That is when I heard them, the whispers and the taunts, the low howls of men. The snare cut so deep. The blindfold, it made me panic. The dark.
Somewhat to your surprise, Sebille doesn't recoil, but allows you to hug her.
Thank you. That very first moment of darkness. I've never been so scared ever since. Then there was the stench of those men. The burn of the ropes, the jeers and the kicks, until the dark went silent. Even those barbarians didn't dare speak in the presence of the Master. But I'll not speak of him and his methods. Not now, anyway. If ever. We have to find the Masters of the Source, don't we? Seems like all my life was about Masters.
Sebille slides her hand in yours, makes your heart skip a beat with her particularly coquettish smile.
I've something I need to tell you. You earned it just by being you. You see, the thing is...
She scrapes her throat, hesitates, almost as if she's a bit nervous. There's a first.
I'm afraid you're going to accuse me of killing the mood, but... I need to talk to you about the Master. No, not anymore. Or so I hope. My dear, sweet boy, I've grown to trust you, more than I've trusted anyone since I've had names on my skin. Wasn't easy, I know. Come, sit down with me for a moment.
You both sit down, cross-legged, knees to knees, hand in hand. Suddenly, a melody. Sebille sings a song, haunting in its simplicity. She uses no words, sounds rather. It's beautiful, yet somehow menacing.
This is my Scar song. It's all the Master needs to make me his slave once more, unless your voice opposes his. I will soon confront him, with you by my side. My life and my liberty I place in these soft, strong hands of yours. Will you sing? Good answer.
Her cat's eyes close as she leans in for a kiss. You kiss. It's sweet and wonderful. You wish it could last forever.
My word.
You both get up and smile to one another warmly. When you hear a sound in the distance and turn to look, Sebille pats you affectionately on the bottom.
Adventure calls, but I say we do this again sometime. Please, go ahead. And I remember saying I'd probably never tell you. Then again, why not? I suppose some stories were always meant to be told. So, here goes. No, hang on.
She retrieves a small flask from her backpack, uncorks it, and takes a big swig. Tears stream from her eyes as she offers you the flask.
They're tears of joy, I assure you. Here, have some joy.
You drink. It burns. Soon the tears run down your cheeks as well.
Not bad, is it? So good it has us crying like babies. Now then, the epic of The Master and the Scar. Sounds like a melodramatic opera. There was, of course, some singing involved. It began when I woke in the dark room. He removed my blindfold, and still I did not see. He himself was darker than any shadow. But I could hear him give orders to another. Stingtail. How he came to regret the actions he performed that day. The Master bid the dream a dream, and so he did. He sat there. I could feel his hands upon my cheeks. He trembled, as if in pain. I didn't know what was going on until, quite suddenly, his right hand became a flame. I screamed as he traced the design of the scar into my searing flesh, but I could not move, not an inch. And all the while the Master looked on in darkest silence. No, I'm quite all right, but thank you. So, once the scarring was over, and the pain began to fade, the training began. With words, whistles, snaps of the fingers even, the Master could make me obey his every command. Young, strong, smart. You know I don't exactly lack in qualities. It didn't take him long to train me in the arts of stealth, subterfuge, and assassination. It shakes me little now, all too little. But that first time, that first real kill, it was such stuff as nightmares are made on. I had now lived in the dark for what might as well have been years. I was in a wood, but the trees there were sick, grey, leafless hydras sticking out of ashen earth. There were no stars that night. She sat, shivering beside a fire. I was nervous. I had to chase her. My hand hated itself, tried to resist, but there is no resisting the Master's song. My stabs weren't as mercifully exact as they should have been. I had to bring down the needle again and again as her screams flooded the forest with terror. When it was done, I crawled back to the Master, broken, crept back into the box, and through its cold black lid, he told me I had done well. Next time, I'd do better. You understand me completely. With the needle, I'll kill him. And with the needle, I'll strike his name from my skin. The bastard will be master no longer. Oh, honey, you should be. It was a trust not lightly given, I assure you. The mere recollection of this tune, it haunts me. Sometimes, in dreams, I hear it whistled, and I fear it's real. I fear I'll never wake up again because it holds me enthralled in the night. And when I think of what it made me do, it's enough to make me want to flay whoever sings it.
She pats your shoulder awkwardly.
But darling, no need to tense up so. I'd never do that to you. Well, not unless you'd attempt to sing the song before we meet the master. But you're far too smart for any such shenanigans, aren't you? Of course you are. Now then, on a more serious note, how about a kiss? Come here.
A kiss, a sweet, stolen moment.
See? I told you we should do this again sometime. The very best.
She cocks her head ever so slightly and eyes you as innocently as a kitten.
Why? Don't tell me you disagree. Thank you. I quite agree, and I'm sure I'll have mercy on you when I'm a goddess. You, but a mortal at my feet. In all seriousness, though, the prospect both tickles and terrifies me. I mean, divinity. Will it be a blessing or a burden? Would we be truly omnipotent, or merely the servants of an unruly universe, as desperate for control as we are now? And then there's the question that makes me shiver most of all. Would we still be ourselves? Would I remain Sebille, or would my mortal soul die upon gaining divine immortality? Take the plunge and don't look back, huh? As good a plan as any, I presume.
She sighs and closes her eyes, then smiles her easy smile.
Such a silly game we play, to be a god. It's quite wasted on mortals, if you ask me. We are all of us too blemished to become immaculate. I think you know the answer to that. First, I'll find the master. He has a date with a needle. Whatever comes after that, comes after that.
I am the scion of the Mother Tree. Her heart speaks through me.
The scion of the Mother Tree. Let me talk to her, please. She and I have business.
The Mother is in danger. A shadow hunts her. You must rid us of the shadow. The Shadow Prince is on this island, seeking our annihilation. He is the master of the House of Shadows. He is a terror that breathes. You know him simply as the Master, Sebille. It is time for vengeance. You must cut off its breath, then bring me its heart.
You suddenly hear something in the distance, a strange but familiar tune. Sebille freezes. You recognize it as her Scar song. The master is near.
A moment years in the making. Soon I will have my vengeance.
She gives you a quick kiss on the cheek.
Sing the song when I signal you, and wish me good luck.
One step, then another, ever closer. You can tell from her bearing, Sebille has never been so ready to kill, so on the brink of impending action. She's like a cat, all concentrated muscle, that split second before it pounces. Another step, ever closer. The moment has finally come. She's found the master. The eyes of predators meet.
Sebille?
He snaps his fingers, and she involuntarily snaps to attention.
Here you go, breaking my heart.
That's the plan, master mine.
He sighs, sadly.
I don't begrudge you your freedom, Sebille. Your escape relieved me of having to witness your death by your own hand. The inevitable last command. I would have watched you, like I have all this time, glad to see you live, sometimes even laugh. I'm very fond of you, you know?
The feeling's not quite mutual.
Not yet.
Another snap, different fingers, different sound. She looks to the ground. She's bowing before him.
Utter control. The tool of a tyrant, you think? But you're mistaken. Let me indulge you with an explanation. Everything I do for a much greater good. The supreme example of this is you, Sebille. She's the prime scion. It had to be her. The other scions knew and welcomed her. They sought out their own killer. It was all so very elegant. What I did had to be done, Sebille, and I had to be the orchestrator, for I am the House of Shadows. I am the Fate Weaver. I am the hand that guides a blind world.
Sebille slowly draws her needle.
Time to get to the point.
My, you still have the needle I gave you. How very gratifying. A fine instrument, is it not? Precise, exact. Just like me. Just like you. You should know that I forced you to shed the blood of scions because rather than a killer, it transformed you into a savior of untold millions. Here's the final truth, Sebille. The true evil here is not me. It's you. The Mother Tree and her scions do not seek to carve out their own part of peace in this world. They seek to carve out the whole wide world for themselves. They want their roots to conquer every last inch of Rivellon. World domination. The prevalence of one race over all others. That is what they desire. That is what I counteract.
Finally figured that out, did you?
But there is merit to my madness. Can you say the same of your mania? I don't begrudge you your freedom, Sebille, but you came looking for me driven by no more than ordinary bloodlust. All you see is red. You've lost sight of all reason. You know how the scar works. You know I have but to sing a single tune. You've no hope whatsoever of defeating your master.
He sings. The scar song swells, 1,000 tiny needles in Sebille's soul, chipping away at her will. She looks at you with hope and defiance, gives the signal. You must sing the song. Your voice harmonizes with the master's. Stunned, he hesitates, and yours becomes the dominant melody. Sebille is free from his influence.
Dear me, you're a miracle worker. I'll take it from here.
The patient cat finally pounces. She strikes, precisely, exactly. Her needle pierces his neck, spears his vocal cords, filling his throat with blood. Checkmated and muted, he staggers back, all a feared fury. This is it. It's time to kill the master.
What's on your mind, darling? It feels magnificent, if somewhat unreal. But first things first.
You look on as Sebille bares her arm and drags her needle across the word master, like a knife, drowning the black ink in blood. With a few ripples of sauce, the wound closes, leaving behind but new scar tissue that effaces all trace of the hated word that was.
Thank you. You're such a sweetheart.
She laughs. Her cat eyes dance with mirth.
Now it's over.
You kiss, very tenderly. Next, she takes your hand in hers, meets your eyes in earnest.
I just can't thank you enough. I could never have defeated the Master without you. I owe you everything. But I do, and I won't forget. I am free now.
She places a hand over the fresh scar on her arm.
I've known the opposite too long to want to spend another day hollow with hate, another night hollow with loneliness. I know I needn't be, if you show me a little love.
You kiss her on the cheek, and she laughs, full of life.
Now that the Master's dead, might as well pursue Divinity, I say.
Sebille touches your arm.
Look, It's Sebille.
Sebille, it is so good to see you once more. I must speak with you. It is of the greatest importance. I am in Fort Joy, but I do not see you there. From the fort I escape, as you do. At last I see clearly. I know what must be done. The mother is sick. She is weak. Her grip slips at last. You make her so. You kill her scions. You are strong now, Sebille. You are prime scion. You are God-woken. This is a unique opportunity. The impossible is now possible. Kill her. Free us from her tyranny, please. Finish what you start. One more kill. You must strike at her heart. Do this for me. Do this for all of us. Set us free.
You want the Mother Tree dead? Quite the change of heart since last we met.
I know, but now she is weak. I can speak truth. The mother stops progress. The mother stops lovers. The mother forbids. The mother commands. The mother plots. The mother wants vengeance. She is hollow, but all elves want is to live. I know I can count on you, Sebille. You who loves her freedom above all. You must climb the temple to find the mother's heart, and then you must destroy it. Set yourself free, Sebille. Set us all free.
Sebille clears her throat to get your attention.
I have the Shadow Prince's heart. Enjoy.
The scion eats the lizard's heart, one chamber at a time. 1, 2, 3, and then it is gone. She holds her hand out.
This may aid you on your journey. It is a powerful rune. You may use it as you wish. Sebille, your actions cause great pain to the mother. You cause great pain to all elves when you run from duty. You cause great pain to yourself. But now you are here. The mother forgives. It is time for you to fulfill your destiny. You are the prime scion. You are the daughter of the Mother Tree. You are the one that will replace her. You must take root now. The mother is sick. Soon she dies. It is time. The elves need a new mother. They need you. Take root, Sebille. The mother demands it of you.
This is a momentous decision. I'm not entirely certain. You do? Then I think you're right. I'll not do it.
Prime scion. Prime traitor. Strong is bark, weak is flesh. Even this dying heart will shred you.
Sebille lays a hand upon your forearm.
Step back. I have business with the mother. I'm going to kill her.
Sebille reaches out to the tree. She allows her power to burgeon and grow, and then she directs it all at the heart. The tree shudders, and then screams. The heart of the mother tree withers and dies. All is still.
Sebille, you killed the mother. We are free. We may go where we please. My heart is filled with gladness that you are with us, Sebille. I hope to see you again. I hope you find that which you seek. Set yourself free, Sebille, like you have set us all free.
Speak if you wish to.
She sighs.
Deep down it feels like a betrayal. A just betrayal. I know that many will say I failed my people, but I don't think I have. Even as I sat on the Prime Scion's throne as a child, watching pilgrims pass by in worship, I could hear her whisper, much like the Master would whisper. Mother and Master. There was precious little difference between the two. Both of them longed for power so absolute it's no more than an abstract. Yet it is that very abstract that causes so much actual misery for those that stand in its way. My heart may be conflicted, but my mind is not. I did the right thing. We're finally here, on the doorstep of Divinity. Merits a word, doesn't it? After all, only one of us can become the new Divine. But don't worry, I won't stand in your way. From the moment you came back for me on that ship, I knew you were special. You've proven it time and again.
She kisses you on the cheek.
You will be the new Divine. I will remain myself. All I ever wanted, really.
After all that's just happened, life, every flawed morsel of it, seems more precious to you than ever. You look around at those who have accompanied you so far. In each one, something unique shines through. Divinity has eluded you so far, but humanity beats strong within you, here and now. Who knows what lies ahead for you, for your companions? Your quest failed. The void is growing stronger, and the hall is dark. You feel the need for some affection. Perhaps they feel it too. She pulls you close and kisses you like you've never been kissed before.
That's a yes. Come, let's find ourselves a quiet spot, shall we?
As you move to go below decks, the live wood creaks and groans. The steps you thought you knew lead you to a part of the ship you've never seen before. A newly carved nook that smells of resin and wood chips. Touching the wall beneath your fingers, the live wood hums at your touch. You understand that the Lady Vengeance has carved this space for you in gratitude for your help. You enter and feel the presence of the ship recede, offering you the total privacy of a moment alone with your companion. The first moment you have been truly alone together. No sooner have you entered the room than Sebille shoves you onto the bed and starts tearing at your clothes.
I want you naked, now.
Sebille doesn't blink, but with a few quiet motions slips out of her clothes. She stands before you gloriously nude, fragile, yet absolutely at ease.
I know. Your turn. Spit spot.
She looks on as you remove your garb, and it's like you can feel her gaze, an eager flame that travels up and down your naked body.
Good boy.
She takes one of your hands and leads it to her lips, gently brushing them with your fingertips.
Remember how when we first met I licked your arm? Think now of what will happen when I lick you all over. All those memories shrouded in flesh. No more secrets. I will know you like I know my own heart.
She lowers your hand and places it between her breasts. You can feel the beat of her heart, the dulcet, ancient rhythm.
Let me come to know you.
She kisses you gently. Then, as your mouths open, a dalliance of tongues.
The sweet taste of remembrance. The titillation that is one's first kiss. How young you were. Tell me, how was it? So I gather. But practice makes perfect, as we've just proven. I think it's time for another taste.
She kisses your neck, your chest, twirls her tongue around your nipples.
Now we're getting somewhere. Another sensation altogether. But you're afraid. Tell me why. But you shouldn't be. Not with me by your side. Alas, it's me you fear. My nails and my needle. Forget the scar. Forget the names on my skin. And forget the instrument with which I kill. You will get to know the real me. All of me. I am Sebille, and I'm here with you. That's right, my darling. I'm here with you. Now do you realize you've no reason to fear me? That I could never hurt you? I love you. I want you.
Her kisses go lower still, your belly and below. Her tongue is all along your length. Just a tease. Slowly she moves back up, her body close to you, her lips against your ear.
Just one question left. The one question as yet unanswered in your flesh. Do you love me too? Not so evasive now, are we? Good.
She straddles you, two heats hot against one another.
Isn't it wonderful to be in love? Isn't it magical to make love?
Her lips land on yours once more as she guides you inside her and slowly, ever so slowly, gallops you into oblivion. The night was long, but you didn't sleep a wink. You lie in one another's arms, basking in euphoric exhaustion.
Ready for round 5? Come here.
As Sebille's hands traipse their way down, a sound emanates in the distance.
That was Lady Vengeance. She's calling us back. How she spoils our sport.
You both rise from the bed and get dressed. When you're ready to leave, Sebille takes your hands in hers.
You know me now, don't you? The real me. You're not afraid anymore, are you? And I love you.
One more kiss. Then you leave, your arms around each other's waist.
Let's get this divinity thing over with, shall we? This is so much more fun. Please, speak. By all means. Oh my, someone in need of a lick and cuddle?
Her face is straight, but her eyes dance with mirth.
I don't think I can ever tire of hearing that.
She steps close to you and places a long hand on your cheek. Her great cat-like eyes peer into yours. She kisses you, biting your lower lip as she pulls away.
Don't think you've seen it all. I haven't even nibbled you yet. Like I want to keep exploring. Again, and again, and again. How about you?
She curtsies.
And my privilege. To be perfectly frank, yes. I only had to do what comes natural to me. Besides, these 7 weren't exactly angels. Even gods get their comeuppance. We stand warned, don't we? Last I heard, godhood awaits. If only we can wrest it from Dallas. First, we find her. Then, we roll for the greatest fate of them all.
Sebille's voice sounds from over your shoulder.
I would speak with Sebille, my kin. Thank you.
Sebille, it gives me joy to see you. You continue to become the great scion. This is good, for we stand on the edge of the abyss. Are you prepared for the coming war? The mother is dead, and we are free of her terrible plan. The age of the mother is over. The shackles of the past are broken. We shall take our rightful place in the new world. War is coming. We shall harrow the earth with the blood of humans, lizards, and dwarves, and from it a new forest shall grow. It gives me joy to see you, Sebille.
Sebille keeps her expression carefully blank. Sebille turns away. She looks troubled.
Isn't it obvious? She's insane. Yes? I think she's a mad woman. She was there in Fort Joy, and she's here still in Arx. Yet what does she speak of after all she's been through? Nothing but death and domination. She has learned nothing, but I have. Live and let live, I say. Thus endeth the lesson. Listen, this is it. Again. And I want you to know I'm not putting up a fight, not against you. My revels are now ended. Yours are about to begin. I've had my vengeance, my life and my liberty. You helped me win them back. And then, when you told me you loved me, all of me awoke. All I want now is for this to end. To be by your side when we wage the final battle. And long, long after. I know you do. And I love you too. Now kiss me.
You kiss each other passionately, ready to face the darkest dark.
Darling, there you are. Come, let me take a look at you. Huh. I've never known a god before they became divine. I was curious if it would have changed you.
She gives you a long, assessing look, but makes no immediate comment. She paces around you like a cat, looking you over.
Well, you certainly look the same. But there's something in the air around you. It vibrates ever so slightly. There's magic in it. Power. Don't you feel it? Maybe you should give it a bit of time. I imagine it takes almighty power a little while to settle in. That quite depends on you, I suppose. Is a deity permitted to mingle among us mortals?
She laughs, and it's music to your soul.
I certainly hope so. We love each other after all.
A kiss, and oh, how sweet she tastes.
Love conquers even divinity.